everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you a series of cards. We're going to make the first one, which is a beginner type card or a very simple card. Nothing wrong with it, it's very clean and it is great to look at. But then we're going to do some stepping up and I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. We're going to use a few gems. We're using Happiness Abounds sentiments. I'm not doing any stamping of the flowers because Stampin' Up's artists are beyond amazing, and they designed their designer series paper with all kinds of things in mind, I guess. So let me show you. This is called Hues of Happiness. So let me show you some of the paper. Beautiful colors. A lot of them they use, oh, this is backwards. Let me turn this around. Well, the backs are beautiful as well, as you can see. But I want to show you all of the flowers. So there's these flowers. And then you can tell they're kind of doing a rainbow effect, which is really cool. Love the, let me fix this so I can actually spin it good. I love the navy blue background, and then they usually have a more moderate, less busy background. But you'll notice it's like rainbow across. It's not exactly rainbow order, but it is somewhat similar. And then here are some flowers. But the ones I wanted to talk about, I've already cut up several of them, are this one, as you can see, those colors. This one, which I've already cut up, I will show you. That's the demo ones I've done. This is the same one as that. So there. So there's 4 sheets of flowers. Stick this back there. That you can actually use the dies, which are, where are my dies? I know I didn't put them away, I don't think. Oh, here they are. They're gonna bite me. Blossoming Happiness dies, which has got a beautiful background that you can use to cut out. No, I don't even have that in there. I'll have to find it. I have it missing, which is why I keep the picture. But they have all kinds of sizes that actually fit these flowers and these leaves and other flowers and more leaves, and then some other stuff. So let me go ahead and put this back in here. Oh, I see. I was thinking this was a whole panel, but it's this one here that will cut into your background. So let me put these aside and I'll get the die cut machine and I'll show you what it's gonna do. So I have the Stamp Cut and Emboss platform here. We have our new self-healing magnetic plate, which is super heavy. It's like almost solid steel and magnet, which is awesome because and I will show you, I've cut this because I can only put 6 inches in an 1/8 or something, and obviously this is 12 by 12, so that will not work. But it attaches, and when you tip it up sideways, it doesn't move, which is like awesome. Let's see, so when you're doing this one, I look for the deep V, and that usually goes right there. And I always think that this is wrong, but that's like a lighter color of yellow. So if you put this in the deeper V and move it around a little bit, it will not move now that I've got that there. And of course, I've lost the other die. I knew I should have taken, oh, there it is. Taken it out. I'm gonna set this aside. But I made 20 cards. And you'll see some of them I'm using multiple cards. So this one is for this leafy thing here. There's 3. Oops, where's the middle? Here it is, right here. And we just tip it over until I get the most of it that I want. Then there's only one, so you use plate 1, plate 5, and then plate 1, plate 3 over the top. So the sandwich is totally different. Let me just roll this through and I'll show you the first card. But it took me about, I would say, maybe 15 minutes to cut out all of, oops, still attached over here. I'm gonna put these where they belong so I don't lose them. And I'll put this aside. And we'll just do this one. I mean, it really does, it really does sit in there. There we go. And I'm gonna put this aside and I'll show you how I cut the cardstock. So with one sheet of colored cardstock, you can make 4 cards. So you would need 4 roses, obviously, or multiples thereof that you were doing. You just want to cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, which is 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Oh no, I lied. You want to cut it 3 3/4. I changed my mind while I was doing it. So let's do that again. So 3 3/4 by 5, which I call the second layer. So a card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And if you subtract 1/4 of an inch from both, you get the first layer, which is the 4 by 5 1/4. But this is the second layer, which is a 3 3/4 by 5. I'm only going to do one tonight to show you so that I have time to show you all of the angles or all of the cards that I made and how I stepped them up. Now, to do this next part, what I want to do, if you can see here, is I want to cut it on an angle. If you put these 2 pieces together, that is what this is. So I want to cut 1 inch down from here and up 1 inch from here. Now you can mark it with a pen. You know, go ahead and measure an inch and put a little mark and do the same thing down here. But after you've done it a couple of times, you'll figure out if I put this on the 1 inch mark of my ruler, making sure you can see this, the 1 inch mark, and put my finger there and hold it and rotate this so that it's on the 1 inch mark on the inside, which is right here, and just recheck that and put this down. You can just cut right through it. And if it's not exactly 1 inch, it's okay. You end up with 2 pieces of colored cardstock, and you can use that in multiple ways, as you will soon see with some of my examples. So you're going to take this and you're going to use your adhesive of choice, which for the most part is usually liquid glue. Now there are situations where for whatever reason you don't want to use glue, especially if you're doing like multiple upon multiple upon multiples. Sometimes multiple layers of glue can get a little bit wonky, but I guess I would want this to be straight though, right? Let's fix that. 3 sides. If you get 3 sides, the 4th one comes free. All right, so I've placed that there. For a simple one, now before I actually glue this down, I'm gonna stamp a sentiment, but if you just want to do, you know, flowers, there's your first card and you can tuck it away. There's no sentiment on it. It doesn't have to be for anything in particular. You can wait until you need a particular sentiment, or you can go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Now this is So Saffron, and I had been stamping the sentiment in the same color but I don't think that So Saffron will be dark enough. So I'm going to take a complementary yellow. This is Crushed Curry. And I will open that up. Let me put this away a second. Let me get this sentiment. I think this time, just because I need more of these particular ones, we will do, I think this is Congratulations. No, it is not. This one is Congratulations. So we'll, and you know, I'll be honest, I mean, if you listen to me at all, or if you've seen any of my videos, I do multiples all the time. Normally, I would put this in the Stamparatus because I would want to make sure that it's straight and because I would be doing it multiple times. So I'm just going to go ahead and we'll hope for the best because I don't stamp this way most of the time. But we'll see how well I can do. Looks like I've got it all. You might see the top of my head a little bit because I need to try to get this straight. So we'll see what happens. You always leave it there for a minute. It kind of soaks into the, oh, good job. It kind of soaks into the ink if you leave it there for a second. Now, most of the cards I made start with the flower on the bottom. You certainly can put that up here if you choose. I'm going to continue to put it on the bottom just because that's where I did it before. Some of them I popped up, some of them I didn't. If you just have it one set of pop-ups, having that go through the mail is usually not a problem. I'm just putting a little teeny bit, well, I already glued it down. I'm used to putting pop dots underneath there. I'm just going to lift this up a little bit so I can stick this in here. There we go. And there's your card. Now, let me show you some additional ones. So this one is actually a stepped up version of this. This would be a beginner stamper's card. This could also be a beginner stamper. And when I say beginner, I mean that you're not necessarily inexperienced, but that you have limited supplies. You're talking about ink, paper. This is paper because I cut it out. So that's generally more in the simple stamper or basic stamper. And then you have the casual stamper. This one's another kind of version of this one. So I'll cover this one up like this. Now this time I stepped it up. By the time you see this video, this is going to be retired. But any kind of ribbon adornment. So we had a very little awkward transition there. I got a phone call. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. So I'm going to just repeat a little bit. I know some of it got cut off. Same as this is more simple. This one is pretty simple with just a little sentiment. This one, I put some bling on it. I don't know if the camera's letting you see bling, but there's like one in the center and a couple here. And then this one, I just added a bow. And what I was saying before, this may be retired by the time you get there, but that's okay. And then I also wanted to clarify something. When I said that you could make 4 out of one sheet of cardstock, I lied. You can make 8 because for each 3 3/4 by 5 sheet that you cut out, you'll have 4 of them. You end up cutting those in half. So you actually make 8. So now that that's clarified, I'm going to just show you what happens when you put both a bow and some bling. And this is up on dimensionals and it has a little bit of a different saying. Then I decided to try it in a different color. So I followed the same kind of rules, if you will. I did one simple with having a sentiment on it. This one has bling again. I don't think the bling is showing. I can't make it shinier. But anyway, there's 2 there and some in the center and 1 there. You'll notice this one I did 2 different of the smaller size. So I was kind of spreading it out. This one I did 2 leaves, and I also took some of the same paper, but on the back side of it, made it the first layer. So that would make it 4 by 5 1/4. I did not cut that in half. I left it so that you could see the edge. I put this sheet down after I've cut the angle. Then I put the flower, put some gems on it. I did something a little bit different with the sentiment by putting it up there. So it's a very pretty card. And this one is pretty, but it is just more basic. There's less work involved for one thing, but it's also less decorative. But it's a very clean card. Some people just really appreciate having a very clean, basic card. So now I'm going to show you in a different color. I basically took all of the leaves on that one sheet and all of the flowers that I could cut out. There's 3 different kinds, although there are more of the big ones than there are of the smaller ones. But again, one sheet gave me 20 different cards, and you get 4 sheets. So you get lots of card space. This is a little bit different. I cut it the wrong way. It's the same quarter sheet, but instead of cutting it across this way, I cut it across this way. So I have a long one with 3, then a long one again, flipped upside down. I'm just showing you that you can do all kinds of things. Still no bling, but with a sentiment. This one, still no bling, but a pop-up and using 3 different colors because I wanted to be different. And then here's one with a bow, some bling, a sentiment. I've got 2 more, or 1 more colorway, and then I'll show you. Again, cut this one, not wrong, but different. So again, not what I planned, but that doesn't mean you can't use the card because it's very nice. And again, used 3 cards there, used 3 different colors on this one with the background, some bling and some sentiment. And then I just got all crazy because I had some leftovers and I wanted to use them all. So this one is not that different, but I turned this sideways so I have a flat up on top. So I put the saying a little bit, again, didn't do that on purpose. It just worked out that way. 3 colors of the little ones. And then I went all out nuts. I had a whole bunch of spare pieces of cardstock, pieces, you know, ends trimmed and whatnot. So I went ahead and used up the rest of my flowers, except I did find I have room for this. So I guess I could stick that on there, but I'm happy with the way it looks. But I basically used 1 sheet of 12 by 12 flowers and made 20 cards. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. This is my flower version. With or without sentiments. The last time we did a pouch with no sentiment. Having no sentiment on something does make it come in real handy when I decide that I need a birthday card or an anniversary card or a congratulations card or a get well card. I can always add the sentiment to it later. I can add it inside. I can put it on the outside. Very easily make up a quick card and it'll be all done. If you have any questions, please post it down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the button so that you know when I post. Generally, I post once a week. If there's a flash sale with free shipping, I might send out a second email in a week, but I promise not to spam you. Go ahead and sign up for my comments and then, not my comments, I'm sorry. Sign up for my notification and then you'll get notified every time I post. Thanks. I hope you have a great day. Bye.